Alright, what I'm going to do here is demonstrate that cavalry are not strong in Shogun 2. And when I say they're not strong, I mean that relative to other Total War games, they are extremely weak. So I'm going to put... yeah, difficulty is relevant, of course. So I'm going to have a unit of Great Guard against a unit of Yareshigaru, and they're going to be designated attacker, and they're going to charge me. And they're going to charge me out of formation, head on. So they're going to be on the move, not braced, not in Yari wall. They're going to be charging, and it's going to be pure melee stats for this fight. So I'm just going to charge immediately. And this is how you check for the resilience of cavalry in a Total War game. You charge them directly into spears, which charge straight back. In Three Kingdoms, the spears melt. They get eviscerated, annihilated. In this game though, well, you'll see it. Strongest cavalry unit, Great Guard.
Our general is in grave danger,
Weakest spear unit. The weakest fucking spear unit. Yareshigaru. So you've got the strongest cavalry against the weakest spears, and they're both charging each other in a straight fight. So this is the most simple, least complex fight slash engagement that can occur between the strongest cavalry and the weakest spears, and you're seeing how it's going to go. So we've lost 50 to kill 80. So they've got way more than half, and we've got nothing. We are done. Surprised we did as well as we did. That's nearly half the unit.
Our men are running from the
So they won with 110 left.
Shameful display!
And if you were to get the strongest cavalry unit in Three Kingdoms against the weakest spear unit in Three Kingdoms, they would not even kill a single horse. It could not be a bigger gap. The gulf is tremendous. And now I'm gonna switch it, so I'm gonna go Yareshigaru against Great Guard, and we're gonna do it again. And this time I'm gonna be the one to countercharge, but the AI bugs out a little bit and stops and starts and sometimes doesn't do a full charge. We just got a full charge. That was a perfect test we just did. We fully charged and they fully charged back, and the fight happened. The exact fight that I wanted to test for, we got it. So I'm going to do this again the other way around. And I think what's going to happen is we'll kill about... they'll kill about 40 or 50, and we'll wipe out the unit. So they might get a glitched charge or a full proper charge. Here we go.
Our general is
Yeah, they charged
in grave
properly.
danger, my lord!
It looked like they charged properly, yeah they did. Already lost 25 to kill 20, lost 35 to kill 25, and they're pulling out. So we could chase them, and that's what you would do, so they're not going to get another charge. The pull out was bad. So they pulled out with just over half, having killed about 35. And now we've caught them again, and it looks like I was right. We're going to kill about 40, or we're going to lose about 40 or 50, and they're pulling out again, and they can do that because they've got really high morale. So they haven't routed yet. They're shaking, and they've steadied, and they're wavering. And yeah, we lost 40 there. So they got most of a charge, which killed about 35 or 40. So, a really clean engagement. This unit has 2 XP now, so the unit is actually stronger than it was at the start of the fight. 44 losses for 2 XP. So Yareshigaru gets stronger by fighting Great Guard. And that's what I did at the start of my Hattori campaign for Kyoto, taking Kyoto in part 1. I used the Great Guard to farm XP because it's such an easy fight. It's so favourable. So if any army has some spears, so if you're playing Shogun 2 and the enemy army has Yari Ashigaru mixed in, Yari Samurai is really hard to deal with. They will destroy your cavalry even if you charge them in the back, as long as you don't rout them immediately. They will start to engage, and their amazing bonus versus cavalry of 25 will start to shred your cavalry. In Three Kingdoms though, if you don't brace, you're not going to reflect that charge. You're not going to do any damage to the unit on Legendary. It's going to be horrible. Spears in Three Kingdoms on Legendary are basically useless. And this is what it looks like when cavalry meet their match in a proper fight in Shogun 2. It's so good that they can countercharge with spears, and that's what would actually happen sometimes. I think the Swiss pikemen and some other users of long spears would actually run with the spears and charge. They would countercharge with long spears. And you can do that in this game, because I'm going to try this. Alright, I'm going to try static, and then I'm going to wall up as well, maybe after this. Alright, spears against Great Guard, and I'm going to do the static. I'm going to stand my ground and let them come. That's what she said. Nah, I'm going to just... Well, maybe I should Yari Wall. I'm going to Yari Wall and stand still. Pikes have always done well when they've been used defensively. When pikes just sit and don't do anything, don't make anything happen, they don't usually do well, because the onus is on the enemy to charge into the pikes, which they don't do. But when pikes are deployed aggressively, so a unit is stuck on a bridge or up against impassable terrain or is already engaged, and then pikes move into them, that's when pikes do really well. So the notion of just standing with pikes and letting your guys be braced and get charged, I don't like that. It doesn't work for the gameplay. It isn't necessarily historical. Pikes are not passive. Spears are not as passive as that. I don't think they ever have been. Alright, I'm gonna just stop now, I think. Yeah, so we're in Spear Wall, Yari Wall, and the pikes are down, and they're charging.
Our general is in grave danger,
And we
my
lose 5 to kill 20, lose 10 to kill 30. Yeah, they're getting wiped out. Not many of them made it behind, because they can actually do alright in those melees. They can get some kills just with their raw stats. Now we come out Spear Wall, Yari Wall and push. 35 of them. And I'm back in Yari Wall. You see how quickly I can get back into Yari Wall and leave Yari Wall? It's really easy. And they're just getting destroyed on this Yari Wall. We've lost 33 to kill basically the whole unit. Only 7 horses made away. 73 got wiped out, 74. Yeah. So we could do 6 Great Guards in a row basically before we would die, and we would be at full XP. 3 XP. Yeah. So cavalry are not strong in Shogun 2. They are really weak. That's why they rely so heavily on attentiveness and micromanagement. You can't do that in Three Kingdoms. In Three Kingdoms, cavalry are really strong. Nothing can contest them. And that's that. Demo over. Point made.